Towards the end of 2023, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu provided a sneak peek into Nigeria's fiscal direction for 2024 as he presented the year's budget to a joint session of the National Assembly. The budget is titled A Budget of Renewed Hope, which shows a proposed expenditure of 27.5 trillion naira and estimated revenue of 18.32 trillion naira for the 2024 fiscal year. The country's policy thrust is tied to its economic recovery and growth, as well as developmental objectives. However, the greatest concern remains the level of implementation that will be achieved. Active citizens have a right to call for the books and demand that things are done rightly. If citizens can stand for their rights, the power brokers will soon find out that it is no longer business as usual. Today's edition focuses on the threat corruption poses to the successful implementation of these policies and what is ICPC doing to get the citizens buy-in. Welcome to Corruption Must Go, ICPC's weekly television program. I am your host, Murna Barnabas Atiai. Ruth Awadi is here with latest happenings in the world of anti-corruption.
Welcome to this segment. I am Ruth Awadi with AntiCorruption Stories. ICPC has embarked on a groundbreaking initiative to strengthen its fight against corruption through collaboration with the Chinese police. This strategic partnership, which aimed to leverage advanced technologies and expertise to combat various forms of corruption that plague both nations, took place at the boardroom of ICPC when the representative of the Chinese ambassador to Nigeria, Mr. Hu Wenyu, the Consular Police Attaché, paid a courtesy visit to the chairman of ICPC. In his welcome remarks, the chairman of ICPC, Dr. Musa Adamu Aliyu, SAN, stated that the commission was established in the year 2000 and has been at the forefront of Nigeria's anti-corruption efforts, focusing on investigating and prosecuting corrupt practices across public and private sectors, as well as prevention of corruption, public enlightenment, and youth mobilization, stating that its collaboration with the Chinese police underscores a commitment to utilizing innovative approaches in tackling corruption, recognizing the global nature of this pervasive issue.
We have many relationships with various anti-corruption agencies across the globe, but we are much happy now to create one with China, whereby we feel this will be a great opportunity for us. Most especially, we are much interested in the issue of using technology in the fight against corruption. I'm sure China is a country whereby is well developed in area of technology, and I hope this relationship will continue. I hope we are going to have a kind of MOU between us, so that is here we are going to work together, and whatever you need from ICPC, we will be ready and willing to support you. And also we hope when we request anything from you, which is within their own capacity and within, they will be able to help us so that we build a much more stronger and more efficient anti-corruption agency.
Earlier in his remarks, the representative of the Chinese ambassador to Nigeria, Mr. Hu Wenyu, stated that the Chinese police is the mother of law enforcement agencies in China, adding that the partnership was not merely confined to technological exchange, but also encompasses capacity building and training programs, which aims to empower ICPC officials with specialized skills and knowledge essential for effectively combating sophisticated forms of corruption that often involve complex networks and financial transactions. That will be all on this segment. Corruption Must Go continues with Murna. Stay with us.
Fellow Nigerians, do you know that constituency projects are actually your projects? Do you know that constituency projects are funded by the federal government? Do you know that you can track release of constituency project funds for projects located in your constituency and follow up to know how they have been executed? Constituency projects happen because government does not want to leave any community out in development efforts. You have a responsibility to know what constituency project has been planned for your community, how much has been allocated for it, and whether value for money has been delivered. Take ownership of constituency projects located in your community. Protect them because they belong to you. Government knows about your needs and is planning for you. Government needs your help to ensure quality delivery. Know that constituency projects are actually your projects. Protect your constituency project. My constituency, my project.
For information on funds allocated to projects in your constituency, call 0800 2255 4272.
This message is from the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission and the National Orientation Agency.
If you're just tuning in, this is Corruption Must Go. Let me just bring you up to speed on what we are discussing today, which has to do with government policies and how corruption is posing a threat to its implementation. Having known the problem corruption poses to the successful implementation of government policies in Nigeria, we spoke with some stakeholders on what anti-corruption strategies and safeguards can help ensure the success of these carefully formulated policy. Take a listen.
Well, the major things that we need to put in place to fight these corruptions, the citizens must be engaged. The anti-corruption agencies like the ICPCs have to work with the people at the grassroots community who are the core beneficiary of this. Most of the projects that funds are being released for them. The whistleblower have to be protected because these are people who expose corruptions at any level. If we as citizens, we did not stand up to expose these corruptions, to notify people like you, to hold these people accountable, to make sure that they are called to books, we will not be able to fight these corruptions. The citizens, I will say that corruption is only affecting them, but the implementation of the policies are not affecting them. Because I will just give another few examples. I myself was part of the teams of the project track in Abuja here. When we go to the field, we see what is happening. In fact, I must say that I'm very proud of the ICPC, the work that they're doing. There's a project that we track, and the contractor think that we're not going to get to the root of it. But unfortunately, the teams of ICPC insisted that we must go to the end of this project. We found out that this project has not been completed, and funds was being disbursed, billions of naira was being disbursed to this contractor. So the agency, the commission called on the contractor, and immediately the contractor went to the back of this thing. This is the way of fighting corruptions, because we have gone there, we see it. Then another issue is that citizens can engage in fighting these corruptions if a project is being nominated in their constituency or their domain, and they see that this project is not working, or maybe they abandon it. They can alert the ICPC, the EFCC, or any other agencies. We normally, like, we have 36 states and FCT in the country that we have the state officer. Most of our state officers go to this field, have a town hall meeting, make sure that we let people know about what is the project being nominated in their constituencies, give them the detail about this project, give them information about the contractor. Then the citizens alert the commission. This is what they discover, and this is what they want it to be. This is a way of fighting corruptions, and this is a way of engaging citizens.
Anti-Corruption Moscow team also sought the opinion of some Nigerians on the way forward for the country.
Government policies are intended to be translated into activities and programs for the benefits of the citizenry. Now, oftentimes, some of these policies, even after they had been carefully and well thought through and translated ultimately into activities and programs for the benefits of citizens, hardly ever benefit citizens. And this is largely so on account of attitude of those who are supposed to implement these activities and programs in such a manner that benefits citizens. And therefore, such policies are often thought to be a failure. What is it can we do to ensure, for instance, that this is stemmed in the bud? First, corruption itself, like I said, is a function of attitude, lack of contentment, greed. When you want to take more than what is your entitlement, then you end up depriving others of what ought to get to them. And so we simply as a people have to be deliberate in the way we manage what is our commonwealth. Policies, no matter how laudable, no matter how carefully thought through, no matter the thinking that's gone into it, if at the point of implementation we do not manifest the appropriate attitudes, if we think of self first, then there is no way that such policies can ever translate into better life for the citizens and into national growth and development.
Corruption is taking advantage of your position to better your life financially. In Nigeria, most corrupt activities are centered around financial gains, like bribery, embezzlement, and the likes of them. Civil servants, for example, and public servants who are given responsibilities to perform an activity on behalf of the government can just divert the funds that are given to them for their personal use. Such can be defined as corruption. Government has taken many measures to curtail corruption in the public service, especially in the civil service. Government can take further actions by involving the public. Neighbors can checkmate their neighbors. When you see a neighbor becoming exceptionally rich, not based on his income, you can report such incidences to the government. They can also involve church-based organizations or faith-based organizations to checkmate activities of their members who may be corrupt or manifest evidences of financial corruption.
Corruption is generally a global malice, and it is a threat to our societal fabric, not specifically restricted to government. But if you're looking at it from the perspective of the government policies that are meant to be good for the citizenry are impeded by corruption. The lack of implementation of desired policies, the embezzlement of funds, the non-availability of a conducive environment impedes on government policies. Now, when you talk of corruption, you might have a government policy that wants standard delivery of policies in government. But when you go to the employment sector, you find out that people that are employed to implement these policies and not qualified or capable. They don't have the capacity. This is consequent on our corrupt nature. Corruption is not just embezzlement of public funds or misdirecting public funds. Corruption is an inbuilt thing in us that exhibits itself in nepotism, favoritism, and some of our corrupt attitudes in our businesses.
I am a Nigerian, a highly cultured race. My culture abhors corruption, and with my integrity, a new Nigeria is possible. I say no to corruption today to build a future for my children. Join me and imbibe the culture of integrity to build a Nigeria of our dreams.
This is Corruption Must Go. The price of corruption has always been extremely high, and no individual or nation is immune to the ravages of this cancer. ICPC, under an aspect of its tripartite mandate, has developed and adopted an effective measure for enlisting and fostering public support in combating corruption. The Acting Director, Public Enlightenment and Education Department of ICPC and ICPC spokesperson, Mr. Demola Bakari FSI, explains the Commission's efforts in this regard.
One way of fostering public support towards that particular head is to propagate the concept of integrity, transparency, accountability. And this we have done. Without this basic concept, there's nowhere you are going, because at the back end of corruption is lack of integrity. At the back end of corruption is lack of transparency and accountability. And if you are able to change the narrative, you are able to promote those concepts where they are lacking, then you can be sure that, okay, whichever policy that is coming on board, we have those concepts ingrained in them. The most recent one is the propagation of the National Ethics and Integrity policy. Without those integrity, those ethical principles espoused in this particular document, in the policy, we know that Nigeria will not be going anywhere. There's no way that we can come out of the morass to where we aspire to be. But we have been propagating that, and it's taking root. It's taking, those things are taking root. In the recent time, coming to, policy implementation again, in recent times we have this massive initiative that has taken, a life of its own. That is the Constituency and Executive Projects Tracking Initiative. So ICPC developed that initiative that, okay, we're going to track it from the moment money is released until the project is completed, with a view not to witch hunt anybody, with a view to ensure delivery. Because it is only when the project is delivered to members of the public that government can lay claim that they have actually done anything for people. So, CEPTI, the acronym for the Constituency and Executive Project Tracking Initiative, was initiated so that there will be delivery. So that the one that is not delivered, people can be held accountable. And through that particular project, we have ensured that so many contractors that might not have delivered. They have now been made to go back to site. They deliver substandard quality work, you go back to site to go and rectify that, failing which you refund the money. So we have made a recovery, we have ensured a return to site, and we have ensured quality delivery. And that is the only way to use common sense to fight corruption.
There is no denying the fact that active interest and participation by people on how government funds are expended and how decisions are made by public officials on issues affecting the general society will contribute a great deal to the development of the community and impact positively the people's well-being, thereby eradicating corruption and entrenching integrity in governance and the restoration of values in the society. Keep watching Corruption Must Go every Wednesday on the NTA as we continue to unfold happenings around the world of anti-corruption. Thank you for watching this edition of the program. See you again next week. Bye for now. I am Murna Barnabas Atiai.